So here I am today as a group leader for group number 4. I will introduce you our topic, which is corruption and bribery in corporate governance. Corruption is more than just a financial issue. It can cause long-term reputational damage, reduce stakeholder confidence, and increase scrutiny from regulators. In extreme cases, corruption can even lead to legal consequences, organization collapse, and broader economic problems. Because of these risks, anti-bribery policies and ethical governance are crucial for responsible corporate behavior. Ethical governance help organizations to make right decisions, manage corruption risks, and maintain accountability, transparency, and integrity. The purpose of this report is to analyze corruption and anti-bribery issue within corporate governance and ethics. We examine ethical and corporate frameworks, review real-world cases to highlight the ethical dilemmas organizations face, and assess how effective current measures are. Based on our finding, we also provide recommendations to improve ethical governance and strengthen anti-corruption efforts. In short, this report highlights the importance of ethics, transparency, and strong governance in ensuring that organizations act responsibility, responsibly and maintain trust with their stakeholder.
Hi, my name is Diana Rehan and I'll be presenting my part, which is key ethical. There are three main ethical theories, which are utilitarianism, deontology, and virtue ethic, which approach bribery and unethical practices in different ways. The Walmart case, where the company incurred a $282 million loss under the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, show how corruption harms multiple stakeholders, including the stakeholders, employee, and society. From the utilitarian perspective, bribery is unethical because it reduces overall society well-being by undermining trust and fair competition. From the deontological perspective, bribery violates moral duties such as honesty, fairness, and compliance with the law. These actions are also prohibited under Malaysia's Section 17A, which the MACC Act enforces corrupt liability for corruption. Virtue ethic adds another layer by focusing on characters, identifying underlying vice such as greed and dishonesty behind corrupt behavior. Overall, Malaysian anti-corruption framework interrogates all three theories through legal enforcement, outcome-based strategies, and character-building practice principle like trust.
Hello, I am Jasmine Wong with the matrix number 99242. We'll be discussing about governance and anti-bribery frameworks in Malaysia, which are the laws and systems that ensure transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct in organizations. Firstly, we have the Section 17A of the MACC Act 2009. It was introduced in 2020 as a groundbreaking provision that holds commercial organizations liable if anyone, including employees, agents, or subsidiaries, associated with them in the act of bribery to benefit the organization. What makes this more powerful is that the directors and senior management are also presumed guilty unless they can prove otherwise. The only defense is to have adequate procedures in place to prevent bribery. Penalties are also very severe, which includes fines of at least 10 times the gratification value, or 1 million ringgit, plus up to 20 years of imprisonment. Next is the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 that encourages people to report corruption by protecting their identity, providing immunity from legal action, and also shielding them from retaliation like dismissal or demotion from their workplace. Beyond laws, organizations also adopt ISO 37001, which is an international anti-bribery management system standard. This provides a structured framework, including risk management, training programs, and monitoring mechanisms. Malaysia adopted this as MSISO 37001 in 2016. Finally, internal corporate policies, translate these laws and standards into daily practices through codes of conduct, gift policies, and whistleblower procedures. Together, these frameworks create a professional system that prevents corruption and builds stakeholder trust. And that is all from me. Thank you.
The One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB scandal is one of the largest corruption cases in Malaysia's history. Established in 2009, 1MDB was created to promote national development and attract foreign investment. However, investigations by the U.S. Department of Justice and Malaysian authorities reveal that about USD 4.5 billion was misappropriated through complex financial scheme. Several key individuals were involved. Datuk Seri Najib Razak, Malaysia's former Prime Minister, was accused of receiving large sums of money linked to 1MDB. Low Teck Jo, also known as Jolo, was believed to be the mastermind who organized offshore companies and international money transfers. In addition, some 1MDB executive and foreign bankers were implicated in facilitating these transactions. Investigations found that funds were channeled through fake and offshore companies before being used for luxury purchases. This included expensive properties, jewelry, a luxury yacht, artwork, and even the financing of the Hollywood film The Wolf of Wall Street. So the impact of 1MDB scandal was severe. Economically, Malaysia faced increased national debt. Politically, the scandal contributed to a historic change of government in the 2018 general election. Internationally, Malaysia's reputation and investor confidence were negatively affected. So, in the conclusion, the 1MDB case highlights the importance of strong governance, independent oversight, transparency, and accountability in managing public funds to prevent corruption in the future.
My name is Nur Fatiha binti Azmi. My matric number is 100351, and I'm going to present my part, which is 3.2, the Real World International Case, FIFA, Bribery and Corruption Scandals. The background of this case is FIFA is the global governing body of football responsible for managing international tournaments expected to uphold fairness and integrity faced major corruption allegations and revealed in 2015. Facts of this case investigated led by the U.S. Department of Justice. Corruption occurred over more than 20 years over USD 150 million paid in bribes and kickback that is linked to broadcasting rights, marketing contracts, World Cup host country voting. The key individuals that involved was the FIFA executive, the Regional Football Federation officials, the FIFA president Sepp Blatter suspended several officials, arrested, charged, and banned for life. The bidding issue in 2018 and 2022 World Cup questions officials allegedly accepted bribes for votes, bidding process lacked transparency, raised global concerns over fairness. Next one is by the implications that loss of the public trust, damaging the FIFA's reputation, sponsors withdraw from the support and show weak governance system. Lesson learned from this case, which is transparency is essential. Strong leadership in ethic matters, independent oversight is needed. Global cooperation helps prevent of corruption.
We often assume that a strong anti-bribery policy is enough to stop corruption. But if it's true, why do ethical dilemmas still persist? The reality is that policies often crash with organizational dynamics. The first major dilemma is saving your career versus staying honest. Oftentimes, bosses set targets that are impossible to reach. When people feel desperate, they take shortcuts. For example, a manager might bribe staff to fake performance numbers just to look good to their higher-ups. They rationalize this by saying that I have to do this by keeping my job. In their eyes, the pressure to perform outweighs the policy. The second struggle is the fear of speaking up, or the whistleblowing dilemma. Long ago, whistleblowers had zero protection. Today, laws protect them, but the fear is still there. Statistics shows that 80% of finance professionals who see fraud choose to stay silent. Why? Because they fear of retaliation, being ignored, demoted, or worst case scenario, being fired. Even though the company says to report misconduct, employees often feel that staying quiet is the best solution. In short, policies are great on papers, but they fail when employees feel that being ethical can cost them their livelihoods. To truly serve the greater good, we have to remove the fear and the unrealistic pressures that causes these dilemmas in the first place.
Recommendation for ethical performance practice. These recommendations provide a framework for enhancing governance, reducing a risk of unethical behavior, and promoting culture of integrity. There are 5 recommendations. One of them is strengthening organization policies, where organizations should make a clear code of ethics covering corruption, conflict of interest, fraud, data protection, and professional conduct. Policies must be regularly reviewed, updated, and communicated through employees' handbook and onboarding programs. Second is continuous ethics training, where regular ethics training need to be mandatory for all the staff. Real-world case study and risk-specific modules, especially the procurement, finance, and project management, enhance practical understanding and ethical decision-making. Number 3 is internal audits and monitoring control. Schedule and surprise audit help ensure transparency and compliance. Independent external audits and digital monitoring dashboard can strengthen oversight and support timely correction action. Number 4 is effective whistleblower system. Competition reporting channels such as hotlines and anonymous online forms should be available. Strong anti-retaliation protection and independent investigation unit help ensure fairness and encourage reporting while the identity is anonymous. Number 5 is segregation of duties. Key tasks should be divided among different individuals to reduce fraud risk. Digital system with a multi-level approach and regular review for a job role help maintain effective internal control.
So for the conclusion, this report highlights corruption as a key ethical challenge faced by organizations. Effective ethical practice and anti-bribery management are essential in preventing unethical behavior, supported by frameworks such as the Whistleblowers Protection Act 2010, the Prevention and Combat of Corruption Orders 2009, and ISO 37001. And the 1MDB case illustrate the serious consequence of weak governance, including significant financial losses. Overall responsibility governance is crucial for sustainability, requiring strong policies and effective enforcement and a supportive ethical culture to reduce corruption and willpower.
Next, I will share the insight from our alumni guest speaker session. On 29 December 2025, we held a WebEx session with one Maspa Binti Ibrahim, who is a senior officer and SLDN coordinator at Kampung Budaya Sarawak. She shared practical insight into ethical challenge in organization, highlighting how pressure at work can sometimes lead to unethical behavior. She emphasized the importance of integrity and ethical leadership and strong governance system in guiding employees and maintaining trust within an organization. Her session reinforced how the ethical frameworks we studied, such as utilitarianism, deontology, and virtue ethics, apply in the real-world professional context. During this session, our girl asked the key questions, which is, what are the biggest ethical challenges in the industry related to the corruption? And second one is, what advice would you give to the young professional to maintain integrity in difficult situations? Sopan Maspa highlighted that staying ethical often requires courage and consistent decision making, even under pressure. Her insight reminded us that good governance and ethical behavior are essential not just for compliance, but also for the long term credibility and sustainability of any organization.